Welcome back to RAP4 TV. Omar Macy here. I want to talk to you today about the RAP4 20-round magazines. Well, in this video actually applies to all the generations of magazines, but specifically the 20 rounds. Okay, a lot of you are making a transition from hopper fed to magazine fed, so this is a good time to talk about the differences. Not necessarily the bad thing versus good or anything else like that, but just the differences between hopper fed and magazine fed. As you know, with the hopper fed system, you're using gravity for the paintball to fall into the chamber. In this case, we're actually force feeding the paintball into the chamber, so there's a few more potential areas where something can go wrong, and therefore we want to give you the best advice to make this work. Okay, there's basically three areas where something can go wrong. One would be, of course, the marker. If it's not functioning correctly, well, magazine won't work either. Another one could actually be the magazine that's malfunctioning. Could be a problem. But in most cases, actually the paintball. Okay, so today I want to talk about what to do as far as paintball. Now, as far as magazines are concerned, even for real firearms, any force-fed, spring-fed system has the potential to jam. So this way we can isolate the problems. Okay, basically to test if the magazine is functioning, you have two very simple ways. Wind up the magazine, okay, and this is the engagement button that's right up here, okay. If that right there, okay, there we go. We actually have a functioning magazine. Secondary test, that was most of the retraction in the spring there. Another good one to see is just very little bit. There we go. So the magazine's functioning. Now the next step would be paintballs. Paintballs are the most important factor here to keep in mind, because paintballs, well, they're the limiting factor. Sometimes you won't have the option. You might be at a field and you have no choice. So just like the trend of bore sizing, well, we kind of want you to do the same thing here. One, do not go above .69 caliber or 69 caliber. Okay. Two, you want to inspect that the paintballs are as spherical as possible. If they're egg-shaped, wobbly or something, it's a limitation that it can cause friction and therefore it can cause a problem. So what you should have happening in a normal, when you're playing with magazines, is the following. So you wind it up and the paintball should fall. I'm holding the collet down. This is the ball detent, what holds the paintballs inside the magazine. It should fall right in every axis. You can actually kind of twist it around, even at the seam. It should fall right in. Basically, that right there will guarantee that there will be nothing obstructing the paintballs from coming up. Okay? And vice versa. If I just turn this over, they should just come out like that. Okay? Alright. Here's an example of a paintball that looks perfectly round, spherical, no problem. It can go in one axis, okay? But as it's coming out, there we go. You see? It turned in its own axis a little bit, but again, paintballs, because they do have a seam, this is kind of egg-shaped. If you notice this, I'm holding the collet down, it's not going in. You do not want to use paintballs like this because there's a lot of friction. When the spring tension is at its weakest, basically all the way to the top, it might not put up the paintballs and you'll have a problem, okay? If you get a paintball jammed in there while you're testing, there's two ways to take it out. One would be to twist it till you find the axis where it comes out, or actually use the spring to force it out of there, okay? So that's what you want to do. And that pretty much covers what you would want to do as far as choosing the paintball. So again, just like when you're bore sizing, make sure that you're under .690 or 69 caliber, and at the same time, make sure you have a very spherical as possible paintball. So if you're at a field and you have no choice, you have to use field paint, you may have to select through the paintballs, but it will give you the best outcome, which is a full day of your equipment functioning correctly. So, okay, another thing you want to look at in the magazines itself is this winder. Okay, this winder has the potential of hitting the side of the magwell or the magazine housing, and therefore it would not allow the follower to move up as efficiently. So if you do notice that there is the winder sticking out at all, well, contact RAP4 so we can give you a solution for that, basically. It's not a huge problem, but it can be a problem for you, so we want you to be aware of that. Alright, so that means pretty much covers the use of the magazine. Follow these guidelines and you'll have the best out of the system. Thank you very much.